everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Toonkind D&D. I am Hexabeast. Hex is totally fine, and I am gonna be your DM today. And
Well, one of the DMs. Hi.
okay, yes, hi, yes, I am going to be a DM today because we're doing something a little special. The Protect the Town crew is back. They finally reached their destination, and now we get to see what the hell the deal is with New Scribwick.
Listen, there's a reason they do all those time skips where it's on the map, because this kind of thing takes a while.
It does, and
But we're here, and I am Raddatoons, the player of both Loccan and Tahgit, and the person who created New Scribwick, because this is Loccan's hometown.
yeah! And oh boy, we get to meet some very interesting characters here. This is gonna be exciting. For the record, I am playing Barrow, local villain kidnapped by the heroes. We'll see how that goes. Hey, other two players, could you kindly introduce yourselves?
No.
No? Okay.
From them? No, go.
Damn it. Hi, I'm RJ. I'm playing Perrin, also known as Agent P, also known as Perrin the Platypus, also known as Goddamn Give This Bitch a Break.
Okay, now it's actually my turn. Hello, I'm the jazziest AAA battery this side of the county line, or just Jazz for short, and I am playing, he's your buddy. He's just a little buddy. He's a little buddy. He's here. He is Barrow's emotional support robot.
He is the most important member of this party.
Hey, he can only be, he's very head empty, but he serves a very important role.
He does. It's true. We don't quite know what that role is yet, but we do know it's very important.
Yep.
And for a...
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Exactly. And for a very quick recap on what has happened here, in the last episode of Protect the Town, the party kidnapped the villain and then agreed to help him because Barrow is trying to find his sister. And so they've hatched this rather harebrained plan to lure his sister Sid out from hiding. To what end, Barrow has not quite revealed, but it's important, so we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So they...
I mean, Loccan also did swear to a deity of unknown area, so it's just kind of like, got to take this a bit more seriously now if we don't want to get damned or whatever the heck he does.
that's a surprise tool that will help you guys later.
Or hurt us. I don't know.
You know, it just depends. Frank's having a big old nap right now. Don't worry about Frank. He'll be fine. He just needs to rest his 4 exhaustion points away. It's fine.
God.
He just passed out on the floor of a convenience store. Don't worry about him.
Don't worry about it. He's actually on the floor of a oh god, I've just blanked on the name of the car. Ollie's gonna kill me. It's the Muppet car. Damn it. It's fine.
Listen, he's knocked out on the floor. It doesn't matter the specific location.
He's in the Family Guy death pose. It's fine. But for the duration of the travel that the group has been making to New Scribwick, they've had a little bit of conversations here and there. There've been a couple of FPS games to kind of, bridge the gap, give everybody a little bit of time to know each other better beyond, oh god, we kidnapped the villain, what are we doing? So the camera pans down onto the Worn Desert, and it is much like you would expect any desert to be in these conditions. It is hot as hell, it is dry, it is sandy, and it is just yellow sand all over the place. How are... I feel like I know the answer to every one of these questions, for everyone's answer to this question, but I still need to ask, how are you guys dealing with the heat?
I mean, Perrin is a platypus. Platypi live in Australia. It's hot as balls in Australia. I think he's okay.
You think he's okay? Okay.
I mean, Loccan is literally from this area.
Exactly.
So he did take off his suit, like his suit jacket, like just to kind of like air out his arms a little bit, but otherwise he's taking things pretty
Okay.
nicely.
Okay, all right.
He's kind of taking in a nice deep breath of the desert air because it reminds him of home.
You know, the home we're going to.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I feel like Bro's struggling with the heat, and more so every so often he just like pulls a can of fucking WD-40 or whatever.
Aw.
Yeah, not WD-40, but you know the air canister. To pull
Yeah.
out
A
of
can
the
of
fire.
air to dust it to blast his fucking joints free.
He's riding a Barrow's bag, so it's not too bad, but every so often.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely valid, and I love that.
What about Barrow?
Barrow, shockingly, is doing okay. He's not used to the dry, but the heat. He explained at one point that Verona, his homeland, is literally like it's extremely hot and tropical because it's right on the fucking equator. So he's used to the heat. It's the dry part he's having a little trouble with, but he's doing okay, all things considered. He's just guzzling a lot of water. So everyone, as I expected, everyone's doing pretty okay, which is, yep, that's exactly what I figured.
It could be a lot worse.
It could be. And they're just kind of trudging through the desert, following Loccan. And after a certain point, I'm gonna ask everyone except Loccan, because Loccan knows the way, to make me perception checks.
Perception.
Which means, oh god, I need Barrow to roll. Ah, shit.
You
Fuck.
did this to
I
yourself.
did this to me.
Table.
I did this to me with his negative wisdom modifier.
This is not a good starting roll.
Mm.
Not a negative mod, hey!
The stat mod is, but apparently he's proficient in it, so
Nice. That's
rounds out to a +1.
Net positive.
net positive. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think Loccan is kind of in the lead of the party at this point.
Yeah, Bro can see in the distance, and I'm gonna say,
He's got robot eyes.
he's got robot eyes, so he doesn't need to, like, squint against any sandy winds or anything. And I will say eventually that Perrin also can see it, but he doesn't see it as immediately as Bro and Loccan, obviously. But in the distance, you do start to see buildings. And you realize after a moment you're walking on a road. Like, a road is just now under your feet, and it kind of just vanishes, like, into the desert. It just meanders off into the desert, but it just goes straight into this little town.
Very little.
I would say I call it a little town. Really, it's this road and the buildings along the road.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
It's literally like, it's not even like double digits in buildings. It is like less than 10.
It is very small. It is incredibly small. And as you guys get closer and closer, you realize you don't quite know when this happened, with those perceptions. But you realize, eventually, the sand is grayscale. And the buildings are grayscale. The whole goddamn town is grayscale.
Yep.
And as you approach, that's what you guys tend to take in with your perceptions. B.R.O notices the buildings. There's a water tower. There's a couple cacti. Your stereotypical tumbleweed is just kind of rolling by in front of the camera every time the camera pans to a new shot. Yeah.
Bro probably waves at the tumbleweed at some point.
Yes.
I imagine just in one of the shots, the tumbleweed is waving back inexplicably. No
Good.
reason.
Good. A little branch lifts up, it waves, and then keeps rolling.
Yep. And so as they approach the road, Loccan stops and turns around to face the group. And here we are.
B.R.O is just staring because this is small.
I tried to warn you. It's definitely small.
Wow.
But hey, it certainly makes keeping this place safe easy.
Yeah.
Perrin looks at this grayscale town, looks down at his very technicolor design, and just sighs.
Hey, you'll be fine. Look, I still got my colors on, so you'll be fine.
B.R.O
He fails to mention that the colors weren't part of his original design to begin with.
B.R.O actually points at Loccan and then the rest of the town like, so is everyone else like that, or are they all grayscale too?
They're all grayscale too.
How? You know what? Sure. That is... Yeah, exactly. He's got... I am gonna say he has the fucking headphones on so he can understand Perrin.
That's just a very drawn out great.
Yep.
Either way, Loccan is just kind of looking at all the buildings, trying to figure out, okay, where should we start? I guess best place would be my office. And then he walks up to a building clearly labeled Sheriff's Office.
Excellent.
And there are a couple of wanted posters on the walls. Some of them are on the ground because whatever was holding them up fell out. And he goes up to the door, which is notably like a saloon door style.
Good.
And, you know, in classic Western fashion, he kind of like, not roughly, but he kicks open the door and steps inside, and it's like, guess who's back?
There. Okay, cool. So immediately there is the frantic clamor and clip clop of hooves because, oh god, you just startled the hell out of somebody in there. They were not prepared for that, and you hear a very startled and then a thud as someone hits the floor. Inside is, I would assume, exactly as stereotypical as you would expect a sheriff's office in the desert to be.
Oh, yeah.
There's a jail cell in the back that's got, probably, 2 or 3 cells in it.
Yeah.
There's a desk. There's a pair of horse hooves sticking up from, like, behind the desk because, oh god. And then there's a scramble. And you see a, let me just grab into the game zone real quick. You see, scrambling up a rubber hose horse tune. He's got a little, bandana neckerchief on. He's got a holster with a gun in it. And he has a little sheriff's star pinned to his, or little, like, deputy star pinned to his chest. That's it. But he sees Loccan, and his eyes, quote-unquote, light up, and he gets the biggest fucking grin on his face because, well, I'll be darned. Loccan, you're back! And,
I can't be gone forever. You know I can't. He goes in for a hug.
Absolutely, he hugs him. Gives him, like, a big old slap on the back with a hoof, like, you've been gone a long time this time. We thought you'd gone and forgot about us.
I couldn't forget about you, y'all. I mean, sure, I did get lost a couple times, but, you know, that's just part of the whole adventuring gig, you know? I always find my way back.
You do, and you always seem to get yourself in some right trouble. What brought you back this time? You finally just need a break?
Actually, it would be the right trouble that brought me back.
Oh, we gonna have to get the sails ready? He peeks over your shoulder and sees this group. Like, am I gonna lock him up? Do I get to lock him up?
Not yet. Hopefully not at all, but but potentially. I'm not gonna make any guarantees of anything. But so, how do I go about this? We're gonna stage an attack on the town.
I beg your pardon?
A bit of a crazy idea, yeah, but I figure we've got somebody here, who's tagging along with us, who's trying to find, his family. And the best way to see if we can get his family to show up is to stage a giant robot attack. And so, we pretend that we're being attacked by a giant robot, and he gets his family back, and then we're all good, right? He's kind of like trying to explain this very shorthand because how do you explain this scenario?
How do you explain this scenario? This tune started just kind of looking confused. The more you go, his eyes shift to like question marks, and his head tilts, and his mouth opens, and he raises a hoof, and he's just kind of stuck there for a moment, like, Loccan, did you hit your head? Did you hit your gun? Do you have something stuck in there? And he like grabs Loccan's face and starts like trying to peek in the barrel, like, you got something jammed in there? I gotta like get it out of you or something. Like,
I'm fine. And he's just kind of flailing his arms, just because he's just like that. You get a feeling that even though it's a case of like very much confusion and concern, at the same time, these are just the regular shenanigans these two get up to sometimes.
Incredible. RJ, what is that roll?
That's a hammer space roll.
Okay.
Perrin pulls out the notepad that he's been using to write all the plans down that have been made thus far.
Yep.
Walks over and just holds it out for this horse to take.
Cool. Oh my god. I'm so sorry for what this horse is about to do. He's talking excitedly and animatedly with Loccan. It's important to note this horse is about not as tall as Loccan, but like probably comes up to about his the handle of the gun, I'm gonna say, so a little above the shoulders but below the barrel.
I guess you can't really say neck, can you?
No. So he's doing all this, and then the notepad comes into his field of view, and he makes a karate pose at Perrin, like, what? Huh? Oh, hey, little guy. What's this? What's this? Hang on. And he takes the notepad and starts reading through it. And at this point is when B.R.O pipes up with, Loccan, who is this?
Oh yeah, I forgot to do introductions. Silly me. This here is my deputy Trotter. He's been helping me out with the job with the sheriff and when I haven't been around doing my adventure and stuff. But whenever I show back up, we're a pretty handy duo.
Trotter absolutely beams and gives like a mock salute, like, absolutely, Deputy Trotter, at your services. If you need anything, I'm here. I'm the one you go to for help. Or worst case, I call Loccan and drag him back to town to fix it for y'all.
It's been a couple of times that's had to happen, but it's all good.
Only once. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They've although the buckwheat boys did break out about 2 weeks after you busted them for that. But it's fine. Don't worry about it.
He just momentarily has a bit of a deadpan look, like, of course they did.
Of course they did. Don't worry about it.
Eventually, he gets right back to his cheery, normal attitude, because it's like, it doesn't seem to matter that much. You can roll insight on that one.
Yeah, if you guys want, you can roll insight.
I
Barrow.
would love to roll insight.
Yeah,
What's
Barrow
my
is-
insight modifier? I think it's the same as our perception.
I
Yeah.
love this. Oh my god, Barrow, my darling.
Oh, good God.
Oh, Barrow, this is complete opposite from earlier game.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, no, Barrow, you don't really realize anything. It's just like, oh, they escaped or something.
Just,
Or I
oh,
don't
they
even.
escaped. Wow, that's. I guess I don't have to worry about a lot here then. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, Bro gets basically the same thing.
Right.
Perrin, from the reaction and the quick turnaround, you realize, oh, this is just something that happens on the regular.
That's the theme of this town. This is the
That's-
genre.
You know, that's the running episodic plot point.
Yup. Yup.
Perrin's just like, oh, it's one of these. Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Excellent. Wonderful.
And Robert, let me introduce you to the little party that I've managed to wrangle up in the past. I'm not even going to guess how long it's been now. So down here we've got Perrin, also known as Agent P. He's a platypus. He's also a secret agent.
What?
And
Tip of the cap.
Yep. You get a very enthusiastic hoof shake. Don't ask how he can grip with a hoof. Don't worry
Roll.
about it.
Roll
Roll.
athletics for me really quick.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, shit. Well, dice. You know what? We're gonna stick with that because holy shit, that's incredible.
what was it?
That one.
That one!
God, okay. You go to shake this platypus's hand, and he shakes your hoof, and his arm does not move. You would not think this platypus is so heavy. He's so fucking small. You can't move him at all. You can't even shake.
And then, so he starts to shake, and then he grabs with the second hoof, and he tries to shake, and there's a moment where he's just straining, and then he just lets go and gives Perrin a pat on the head. Nice to meet you, little guy.
And
You are
next we've
heavy.
got this. And next on the roster we've got a little robot friend, B.R.O, I believe.
He
I
peeks
forget
out,
what bro stands for, but
he peeks out from Barrow's back.
God damn it, I love.
he's
Trotter waves. He's. It's once bitten, twice shy. He doesn't trust that this robot equally is not heavy, so he just waves.
I mean, the fact that Barrow is carrying his pack is probably a better sign, but still. And this here is Barrow, the real kind villain that we're trying to help out.
Barrow just waves, and Trotter squints at villain.
Well, self-assigned villain.
Loccan, did you just do it? Are you doing a turncoat thing here? Do I need to throw you in the cell?
No, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Again.
Squint.
In the middle of this, Barrow like flips out of Barrow's bag onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Just pulls himself out. He might start trundling around the room. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
That's-
You know, it's always fine when the little robot friend just goes around tinkering with random things in the room.
We've arrived at our destination. There's no chance of him getting lost. Asterisk.
Yeah. But Loccan like leans over to Trotter to say kind of like, listen, at the very least, I want to help him reconnect with his family. He's from across the sea. He's way out from home, and I'd rather he at least get back with his family instead of attacking other places for the sake of finding his family, because we stopped a bunch of robots back in Wardsburg.
Trotter is squinting, and the gears start turning above his head.
Loccan reaches up and tries to spin the gears faster.
Yeah. Smoke pours from his ears for a second, and then it dings into a light bulb, and he goes, "Oh, okay, I see I get it now. All right, okay. Well, why didn't you say so? I see what's going on. Okay."
See, now the tricky part is convincing the rest of the town to play along.
Well, I mean, you really just got to talk to the mayor.
Yeah, that's. Loccan was like about to say, "Oh yeah," but then his gaze kind of he hesitates a moment, glances back at the party.
Trotter is oblivious. He's just like, you gotta go talk to the mayor with that. You get the mayor on board, and everybody else will be on board pretty much. And I mean, if you get the mayor and your folks on board, well, then everybody's gonna be on board. No questions asked.
I mean, that's true. But also, I know these folks have had trouble with authorities in the past. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What are you gonna do? Lock them up?
Listen, I'm the one with the key. I can just unlock them whenever I need.
Exactly.
In the meantime, I think I'm going to show them around town for a bit, since we're going to be sticking around for a while.
Well, all right. That's, I mean, don't be a stranger now, obviously, but maybe try not to blow the place up.
I mean, that's definitely on our list of things to avoid, yeah.
We managed to avoid that one with the last, me quickly scanning notes. Let's see here. Nope, I don't have a name for another group of villainy. Damn. But basically just, yeah, we avoided that. They almost exploded the water tower, but whoo, boy, that was...
The rustling jimmies.
Yeah. Yes.
Rustling jimmies.
The rustling jimmies. The
That's
rustling
so
jimmies
jazz.
tried to make off with all the cattle off in the cattle farm. Don't worry about it. They tried to say it's a distraction with the water tower and whatnot. It's all good. We got him back. I got it all back.
All right.
He grins really wide, and he's just like, he grins really wide, and at that point, everyone probably realizes the slight hole in one of the jail cells, like, yep, locked them up. They only escaped 2 days ago, but don't worry about it.
Well, I'll get somebody to work on the repairs for that.
Yeah, that'd be mighty nice. I'm all hooves over here.
Yeah. I noticed that Jazz rolled in athletics. I'm going to worry about it.
You just hear a thunk.
Trotter.
Bro's attempting to climb onto the desk. Keyword attempting, he rolled an 8.
Oh.
Barrow's gonna come over and help
the chair. The jets fire. He almost gets to them. Now he's hanging off of it. And by the time everyone looks over, he like has to pull himself up.
If he's not up by the time Barrow walks over to like pluck him up, then yeah, Barrow helps him. Like
he's on like he managed to get onto it, but he's just lying there for a moment. Give him a sec.
Baby.
Just look at the boy.
Look at the boy doing him best. Trotter just kind of is watching mystified, like, what's the little guy doing?
He's just doing little guy stuff.
He likes to feel tall.
Tall.
I mean,
Listen, at least there's not a slushy machine around here, okay?
do I want to know? Yeah, all right.
Perrin casually plants a hand on the desk and like, hup. He's on there now too. He is also small.
They both like to feel tall, all right.
I mean,
Barrow just shrugs. He's 5'10" over here. Barrow's 5'10" over here. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, no, we've got no middle sliders. We either have the shorts or the talls.
Yeah.
I remind everyone that Perrin is 1 foot and 6 inches.
Yup. And Bro is 8 inches tall.
They are short. They are small.
And I love
This
it
is a
so
toy.
much. This is so good. Was Bro just wanting to get on the desk, or was there a
Yeah, he's not rummaging around. If there's any like baubles on there, he might screw around, but
I mean, there's probably one or two.
Absolutely.
Of nondescript fluid drink.
he's not gonna knock over a drink, but like
there's probably like a squeaky toy of like a little bandit that you can like squeak or squeeze, and like the little gun on its hand like shoots out a little like bang thing.
I love that.
Adorable.
He can't quite grab it. Like he doesn't have proper hands, so he's just like smushing his hand on it instead.
He can pinch it, but like clap it between both hands and make it squeak.
Well, no, I was saying like leave it sitting on the desk and like angles his arm down to squish it.
Even better.
I love
Because
it.
at some point it will probably like fly off, but at the moment it's not.
Incredible. All right.
Loccan just glances over to Trotter like, as you can tell, it's been a bit of a fun trip.
I can see that. It ain't no small task to get here from well, the desert itself is pretty big. I don't know where
we
no
went all
Ward...
the way.
Yeah, I don't know where no
It was all the way
Wardsburg
down
is.
in South Inkwell, I think.
Hooey! All
It
right.
was a long trek, especially going on foot. We probably should have booked a vehicle or something, but whatever. We're here now.
Hindsight and all that is fine. Why don't you go hit up the inn then and get yourself some food? Like, you've been gone for so long.
Loccan just lights up at the concept.
Barrow, admittedly, also kind of lights up because, oh man, food.
Oh, how are the rest of you looking? Do you need, like, how eager are you to get to the inn from, like, just looks of things?
Perrin is a master of the deadpan, but he is also hungry, yes. He could go for food.
He could go for food.
I get the idea that, like, Perrin just sits there deadpan and you hear sort of like a grumbling noise, but you can't tell if it's just platypus noises or stomach rumbling.
Perfect.
Meanwhile,
continuously squeaking the toy.
yeah, bro doesn't need to eat. Bro is robot. Bro is toy robot.
But Bro can feel included. But yeah, Trotter's gonna like slap Loccan on the back again and just be like, yeah, go say hi to your folks and go get yourself some food. I'm sure they can probably help you figure out how to best to address the mayor.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, why don't you show everybody around, give them all the grand tour of the place.
Yeah. Hooey! And Loccan's just gonna strut out the door waving for the rest of the party to follow.
Yep. And Trotter's gonna look at the group and just be like, best keep up if you don't want to get lost now. That's a little joke. There's only one road. You can't get lost. Barrow just... Oh, go ahead,
Bro
sorry.
squeezed the toy too hard. Bro squeezed the toy too hard. It launches off the desk and hits the wall. There's a very loud squeak.
Good. Trotter picks up the toy. Don't ask how with his hooves.
He just like he doesn't even like try to climb off the desk. He's just like trundles to the edge and jumps off.
Good.
Clunk.
Clunk. Starts wheeling past. Barrow's gonna he'll pick Bro up if Bro makes a motion to like get picked up, but he's gonna just follow along.
Bro doesn't make any motion. He's just following.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perrin hops off the desk and follows along.
Yep.
Cool. So as y'all make your way down, after the sheriff's office was basically the first building in town, if I recall everything correctly. And then
It doesn't have to be exact.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact, but like it's pretty like it's a short walk. There's not really, there's not a lot of extra to what you like. What you see is what you get.
There's not exactly much to sightsee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the water tower.
Mm-hmm.
There's the buildings that you're going to probably be visiting a bunch of. and there's just this one billboard just kind of sitting on the edge of town, like, welcome to New Scribwick, population 24.
Which, wow, that's a small number. Barrow even comments just, whoa, I didn't know towns got that small.
Yeah, I don't even know how we managed to get the official name, like, the official, like, categorization of it. Yeah, that might just be a question for the mayor. But either way, they walk up to a 2-story building this time, so it's a bit grander, a bit more impressive than the sheriff's office. Once again, the saloon doors, but up top it's like, got, saloon written in big letters.
Yep.
So, you walk in, and you see, well, it's not a busy inn place exactly, but there's definitely like some rubber hose customers sitting at like tables and such. There's an elderly looking chef working behind the counter. There's a shady guy in the corner just doing shady guy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fairly standard.
There's a piano being played in the corner.
Absolutely.
The couple of people in there kind of pause. The music stops as you all enter.
Loccan just looks around. Hey!
And there's and then literally everybody just goes, hey! And the music resumes.
And especially at the call, the man behind the counter turns around and he seems, rather nice. Let me get a picture.
Perrin just walks in underneath the doors, not even tall enough to make them move.
But he's just this jolly little chef guy. He's relatively short compared to Loccan, but he's definitely taller than the 2 shorts in the party. He's only about 5 foot, but definitely a bit bulkier in build. And he's just kind of brewing up some grub in the back. Oh man, my boy, it's been a while. How you been? I've been good, Pa. I've been good. And they go in for another hug with Loccan patting the man on the back.
Barrow has a double take, well, wait, hold on, that's your dad.
Loccan just turns around and is yep, this is my pops.
Hi.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet my dad, Holster Tahgit. And he just kind of tips this tiny little chef's hat on his head. Pleasure to meet you.
Barrow is just staring, in his head he has that, I remembered that Loccan mentioned he didn't always have the gun head, but seeing it so viscerally now, unless his mom has a gun head.
Behind Loccan and Barrow, Perrin just rapidly goes through the 5 stages of grief before settling on, this is happening, I guess. I'm seen by everyone with a fucking 25 deception.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
5 stages of grief.
Listen, Loccan is home. He's gonna enjoy sharing, his home life with his acquaintances at the moment. Friends is still in the cards, at least.
Friends is in the cards, but it's his party. So, hey.
Yeah. Business associates.
There you go. Barrow's gonna take a seat at the bar, because he wants food.
Yep. So, what can I do you for? We've got a bit of a limited menu out here in the desert, but I'm sure you'll find it pretty nice.
What's on the menu?
Let's see. He glances back at the pot he was stirring. Let's see. We've got some good old cactus juice stew. We've got some sandwiches over here, and then there's my personal specialty, fried unidentified varmint. And he holds up a plate of it. You're not sure which animal it is, but it's certainly dead, and it's certainly slightly cooked.
The look on Barrow's face is just indescribable. He is speechless.
He just elbows Barrow, just like, hey, don't knock it till you try it.
What's Perrin's reaction to this?
Honestly, Perrin's eaten worse.
Oh my god. Barrow quietly just, I think I'll have a sandwich.
Alright, one sandwich coming right up. And he's just...
Some of the sandwich is the gag, I think it is.
Please let it be the gag.
Listen.
I hope it is.
There's 2 pieces of bread. There is, there's, some slices of what seem to be lunch meat. Although you wonder if it's the same kind of mystery meat as the unidentified fried varmint. And then he adds sand.
Yes. Barrow equally. Hang on now, I gotta roll. Yep. Okay. Cool. Nope. I'm not typing. Hang on. Barrow equally is going through the 5 stages of grief, but a little more obvious. And he just has that "I should have known" reaction. Like, thanks.
Perrin hops up on the stool next to him and just quietly goes, "You walked right into that gag."
You know what? No. Okay. Perrin's on a bar stool. Barrow grabs the bottom of the stool and spins it.
Hang on, I'm doing a fucking dex save to see if he can grab the edge of the table and stop himself. He does.
Damn. Damn.
You rolled before. There's not much I can, like...
Yeah, no. Barrow just gets huffy, like... looks away.
He just chuckles a little bit, like, it's better than you think. Think of it like a seasoned salt or something like that.
You went a little heavy on the seasoning as he starts to, like, push the big pile out to at least get to the sandwich underneath.
What happened? Like, they don't hurt, but also there's a couple of cactus spines in there as quote-unquote herb seasoning.
Incredible.
Delightful.
Thankfully, Mr. Holster doesn't seem to mind that much. He's probably had similar reactions to other visitors to town.
It's the gag. He knows how this works.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. And Loccan just nods. It's like, I'll take a plate of FUV.
FUV, God.
So his dad nods and he gets to work. So what brings you back to town anyway? It's been a while since we've seen you. Yeah, well, I got the usual adventures and stuff. I managed to rope myself into a bit of a doozy this time. And he kind of just glances back at the party like, so I already discussed with Trotter about this, so he's in the know. But we're thinking of, having a bit of a chaotic event in town, if only to attract attention. Attention? What kind of attention? He's still cooking. And Loccan's kind of thinking...
Barrow's gonna pipe up and just say, the explosive kind.
Explosive kind?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had explosive events in town before, but I'm not sure that's exactly attention grabbing, more destructive. It's not like that, Dad. It's okay. So Barrow here is looking for family, and we're trying to, get that family back together. And Barrow figures the best way to get that family back here is to, stage a giant robot attack. It's a bit drastic, I know. Lockie, what are you saying? Giant robot? Yeah, Dad. You can tell that it's like, this is definitely like someone trying to explain to like their dad, like elderly dad, trying to understand the concept.
Oh no! Oh
It's
no!
like, listen. On the one hand, it's like, okay, the concept seems simple, but the moment robots were brought into the picture, it suddenly become trying to explain the internet to your grandpa.
Oh no!
Hold on. 3. Cool. Perrin reaches into his hammer space again and pulls out the same notebook from before and starts opening it to give illustrations to Loccan's explanations.
Holster just kind of looks at the book, pulls out a very tiny pair of reading glasses to look over it.
Beautiful.
Huh. I see. I mean, you're not planning on any actual damage to the town, right? No, of course not. It's really just to get attention.
Yeah, Barrow pipes up at that, like, I have been informed that the consequences would be very bad if I were to cause damage. So no, there will be no damage.
Plus, I figure doing it here in the middle of relative nowhere is a bit better than doing it, in the middle of a big city, which is where I saw his last attempt. Oh, okay.
Barrow does get a little huffy at that one, because his attempt would have been fine if the storm didn't do anything.
It does. Shush. Loccan didn't. Like,
I know.
It doesn't have to be that detailed. It's
I know.
fine. It's fine. But, like, Holster just nods a bit, passes the plate of fried varmint to Loccan, and he's like, you know what? I think that might work, as long as you don't, go a little too crazy, because I know sometimes with, the whole villains thing, they get a bit crazy and they go with the TNT and the this and that.
What is that one?
That's why I'm here.
Meanwhile, Jazz just putting in spinning units. Thank you.
Spinning.
Tried to climb the stool, failed, rolled another 8. Barrow put him on there, and he's just now spinning idly because.
Listen, I had to draw attention to that.
I know, and it's great.
It's beautiful.
In the background, while Loccan and Holster and Barrow and Perrin are discussing this, Barrow is also equally only half paying attention. He inhaled half of the sandwich, set the rest of it on the counter, and then put his plate on Bro's head as he's spinning.
Bro is not.
Bro, what?
Bro's not moving the plate. He was letting it sit there.
Yes.
He's just spinning on the stool with a plate on his head.
Loccan just giggles at that, but it's like,
oh no, what's that?
Huh?
What did you roll?
Well, fumbled the hammer space, and then he got 7. What's his 7?
Uh-oh.
His 7 is... Oh. He
Oh.
puts that back.
What? What did he pull out?
I'm gonna roll
If you wanna know what he
perception.
pulled out, roll perception, yeah.
Ah, damn it.
And I'll contest it with his sleight of hand.
Ah, shit.
He did not roll well for sleight of hand.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Loccan beat it.
Yeah, Loccan sees what's
Loccan
up.
sees it.
Barrow does not.
Barrow does not.
Yay!
Loccan's the only one who notices.
Barrow and
I'm
Bro
just gonna-
handshake.
I'm just gonna copy
That was my
this
third name.
into here.
Mhm.
You see a collar tag, like the kind that you put like a name and address on it, and if like for identifying a pet. He pulls it out and then immediately puts it back.
Oh, baby.
Loccan doesn't like visibly react, Though there is just a slight side eye towards Perrin, just kind
He
of like.
pulls out the locket again.
Oh my god.
Puts that
Yeah.
back. That's another fumble. 17. Okay, what's that? Pulls out a grappling gun. Puts that back. That's not appropriate for the situation.
Barrow would have silly eyes at that
Come
one. Just,
on.
ooh.
While Perrin is just getting all of the stuff out of the hammer space, Loccan's just munching down on his his meal, and you can hear a slight crunching. He's just chewing through it.
The face Barrow makes would be comedic if it were on a tune. Just
he pulls out a pamphlet. I'm gonna let you all see this.
Oh boy.
The title of the pamphlet is "So You Just Found Out Your Pet's a Secret Agent." And then he stuffs that back in his hat with vehement force. Oh, thank God he actually pulled something out. Good.
Barrow's
He's
just
gone in.
staring.
Gone in to get a spare fucking notepad. That's all he went in there for.
Barrow leaning in. You know, I've got notebooks. I can just reach into my bag.
Barrow, the real kind, finally able to flex something over the tunes for once.
Hold on. What's your does a dirty 20 hit?
Hit his AC?
Yes.
Right now? Yes.
You get jabbed in the kidney.
Hey! He tries to spin the stool again.
What are we making the DC to catch the desk?
What'd you roll?
Hold on, I'm doing math. 15.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
Uh,
God.
Mr. Holster has just kind of been watching the antics for a moment, trying to gauge the party, and after just seeing all of these little shenanigans, he just kind of nods. It's like, okay, yeah, I think they'll fit right in. I think it'll be fine.
God. I feel
Congratulations, you successfully managed to convince another person in town that it's okay, thanks to being...
Hey!
Thanks to my terrible hammer space luck.
Barrow is just a shitty teenager. He's just reacting like a shitty teenager. Like,
I mean, to be fair, shitty teenagers can do a lot of damage, but also, like, this is the silly kind of shitty teenager. This isn't, like, actual shitty.
he's trying. He's trying to not react to violence, so it's just petty things. That's his, like, reaction at this point.
I mean, to be fair, it's pretty funny at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working. Loccan's just got a subtle grin on his face, like, it's working.
Like, yes, it's working. The plan is working. Barrow is gonna take the plate off of Bro's head finally and set it back on the counter.
He's not. He doesn't get dizzy, so he has no reason to stop spinning.
He's still spinning.
Was Perrin gonna order anything?
Perrin, fucking just gets a plate of deep fried varmint.
Hell yeah. FUV.
He's eating, and he doesn't want to risk another gag.
Hey.
I mean, you biting into it? Roll me a con check. This is just, for taste flavor. It's not for actual, like, this is gonna make you vomit or
Congratulations, you found his dump stat.
Oh my god, Perrin, no!
I mean, it's still a +2.
Okay.
13.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely not the best food you've ever eaten. It's definitely a bit undercooked. But at the same time, for Toon food, it is definitely not the worst thing you've ever had. Sure, there's a bone or two in there, but I mean, it's certainly deep fried varmint. It's crispy. It's at least got flavor. It's up to you if you decide it's good flavor or not, but it's flavor.
I mean, bones are not an issue. Platypi are carnivorous.
I mean, yeah.
Incredible. He crunches
Ugh.
it like there's no trouble, and Barrow is just staring like, how?
Oh.
Okay, fine. Takes another bite of his sandwich, winces at the sand in it, just keeps going.
I
Powering
like
through it.
that there's like Barrow swept off most of the actual like sand, but at the same time, bread is porous. There
Yeah.
are many sand particles
Mhm.
stuck in the little air bubbles.
Mhm.
Exactly.
There will never be no sand in a sandwich.
Exactly.
There's a distinctly smug crunch from Perrin.
Uh,
Barrow is scowling angrily, just.
uh, so what else are you doing in town? Let's see. If we're gonna get this big robot operation thing off the ground, we're gonna need materials, because I know, well, this is all Western town. We don't really have robot materials around here. Oh, well, I mean, we did have the old mines. That might be something to look into at some point.
Barrow kind of
Yeah.
perks up at that. Mines?
Mm-hmm. Back when this town was founded, it was centered around a, fairly populated mining facility. We were, going out and digging. I can't say I found many myself, but there was definitely like a big deposit of, I think it was Brightelium. Yeah, Brightelium. And even though I think we ran out of that, at the same time, it's basically we sold it off, managed to get a bunch of money from it, and that's just kind of how we've been running the town. It's make do with isolation, but I'd say we're pretty well off. There might still be some metals in there or something. I'm not sure. It's been years since anybody went down in the mines. I think they were closed off for some reason.
Barrow is racking his brain to figure out what the fuck Brightelium is. And even, like, his DC, I'm gonna say, is higher than everyone else's just because he's not from Inkwell, and he has no freaking idea.
What do I roll?
Intelligence, history.
Yeah.
Can I... Oh, no, I'm proficient. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Nope. Yep.
Nope.
No idea what Brightelium is.
Nope.
There's an inquisitive churr from the platypus.
Again, it's been years since any of us even saw this stuff, so it's just kind of become the stuff of legend at this point in this town. Definitely something to look into, though. Thanks for the tip. No problem, Bruce, honey. Don't forget to say hello to your ma for me. Oh, of course I will. Of course I will. So he's just gonna make sure that everybody else in the party is done with whatever they wanted to do here.
Barrow is gonna continue eating his sandwich for a moment because but as he's eating, he's kind of looking around at everyone in this place, and he glances at the shady figure in the corner and then looks at Loccan like, who's that? Is that someone who can help us, or
That's just Shady McGee. He's just like that.
Barrow does not know how to respond to that.
No, I mean, he's literally just like that. I think he had a bit of a rough time with the coloring process, even though it's all black and white, but you know what I mean. He literally just, you realize that, no, he's not intended to be shady because of his, like, attitude. No, they just happen to use the line art pen to color in the whole body.
I love that. Oh, it's great. Shady McGee, I'm gonna say catches part of their at least catches him looking, just kind of waves, like.
There's an understanding chirp from the platypus.
Hell yeah. And I think at that point, Barrow is, so, are we gonna go talk to this mayor, or,
There's one more person we should probably go check on. And that would be the former sheriff of New Scribwick. That'd be Mama. And so once everybody's done with their meal, he's going to give a wave to Mr. Holster, and he's going to lead the party to the next building.
Cool. Which, at, I believe is the bank, correct?
Yes, the bank.
Oh, cool. So, for the funsies of it, you step out and directly across the street from the saloon is the bank.
Yeah.
And that tumbleweed rolls by again and waves.
Now you might be wondering, what good is a bank in a place that's so isolated from the rest of society? Personally, it's a good... To be fair, being separated from the rest of society is a good place to hide riches, you know?
Barrow gives Loccan a look like, is money laundering a thing that happens here? Are secret accounts a thing?
No.
Do you have some executive secret account here? Can we make some like unauthorized deposit or withdrawals here?
Loccan just kind of has a bit of a confused face for a moment, like what are you talking about?
Bro, it's not money laundering. It's part of the genre. Come on, get it with it.
Right. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Listen, like Papa said, the town is founded off of a large deposit of Brightelium that we sold. And then we just kind of had all this money and didn't know what to do with it, so we're just kind of holding on to it.
So the
Fucking...
Uh-huh.
So Barrow was talking about, like, offshore accounts and secret funds, and I was gonna roll deception to hide Perrin's reaction, because Ally has absolutely done that. I fumbled the dice and got a nat 1, so I'm just gonna roll with that. Perrin is resolutely not looking anyone in the eye.
Ally does that.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Barrow admittedly... Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? No, you go first.
Oh, I was gonna say Barrow admittedly is too involved in what the fuck, man? Like, this town has all this money and it's just sitting on it, like...
Oh yeah, why do you think we get robbed so often?
I should have expected that. I should have expected that. Okay. Okay, alright. He just, like throws his hands up in defeat, like, yep, alright, okay.
But either way, Loccan just kind of blows it off, like, and besides, the person in charge of the bank is one of the most capable people I know. My ma, you thought I was crazy with my gun? She is a wizard with her guns. And so Loccan leads everybody to the bank.
Yup. Barrow follows, like, yeah, alright,
There's a quiet literally or metaphorically from Perrin.
Barrow will in fact relay that, like, if Perrin isn't signing, because, he was thinking the same thing, like, Loccan is a warlock. Is his mom literally a wizard?
No. The meaning of speech, you know how it is.
Barrow's the deadpan look that Barrow gives Loccan and just says, you have a gun for a head and shoot magic out of it.
Yeah, and I've told you in the past, this ain't how it always been.
I know. I'm getting southern now. Shit, now you got me going. I know that. But
Loccan just kind of, like, points at the two, like, gun holsters on his sides. Like, these used to be for holding actual guns.
Barrow can't, like, argue because he's like, he knows that. But it's one thing to know, like, be told it, and another to now have to face it. Like, he's just like,
Oh, gosh. Anyway, if everybody's ready, then...
Yeah.
You enter the bank, and it's, once again, a pretty small establishment, kind of like the sheriff's office, where there's a teller's booth with a glass wall and a window like opening so you can have like deposits or withdrawals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a waiting line, and there's a path to the back entrance where presumably things would be stored. And Loccan goes up to the teller, who's, sitting backwards, and he knocks on the glass. And the person in the chair wheels around. It's like, "Hey, welcome to the new Scribwick Bank. What can I do for..." "Oh my gosh, Loccan, I haven't seen you in forever, And she stands up, and she's this, fairly lanky rubber hose elf woman.
I am gonna roll.
And
Keep going, don't mind me, keep going.
And they're just, she gets up from behind the desk, comes out to the waiting line, and just gives him a big hug, just spinning him around in circles. And Loccan is just giggling and, "It's good to see you too, Ma. How you doing?"
Aw, he's a mama's boy.
It's been boring around here without you around. It's seriously, like, sure, Trotter's been helping out with the bandits and stuff, but it's just not been the same without you around. It's been forever. What you been doing? Yeah, you've been going around to adventures, doing towns, breaking up weddings. I don't even know what that last adventure was. Helping out a villain with this stuff. Helping out a what now? And Loccan kind of hesitates, like, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have mentioned that so casually."
Barrow is staring at this rubber hose elf. He has put two and two together. He has connected the dots. He is not okay. He is staring like he might be a little broken.
That's when she finally, like, looks over Loccan's shoulder and is like, "Does that have to do with your friends here? Is that one okay? I think he is a bit, Loccan turns around and is like, "Oh, he just gets confused sometimes. It's fine." But anyway.
The Barrow's leg.
Listen, he's a real kind. He doesn't know much about tunes, so that's probably what it's about. Anyway. Barrow
has picked Bro up. Just.
Anyway, this here is. Oh, what?
Perrin puts a hand on Bar's leg, concerned.
Anyway, this here is Mama, Mrs. Lockflint Tahgit, the greatest gunslinger in all of New Scribwick.
Barrow does not react yet. He's still kind of like, If anyone wants to save him, yeah. If anyone would like to save him.
What would we roll? Because Loccan's, like, realizing, this is a bit more than just confusion. He's gonna, like, try and snap his fingers in front of Barrow's face.
Here.
Hey,
okay, there we go. He shakes his head. Manages to not blurt out the first thing that in his head, and he just goes, I'm fine.
Can we ask
Alright, good.
what the head was?
Huh?
Can we ask what the first thing in his head was?
The first thing in his head is, "You're a half-elf at Loccan."
So, Loccan's just kind of like, "Okay, well, now that that's settled, this here's my mom, and she's the best gunslinger in the whole of New Scribwick." Don't be such a flatterer. You've clearly outpassed me at this point. The only reason I've outpassed you is because I have a gun for a head at this point. I kinda had to adapt. You're still getting practice with, handheld weapons, right? Try them. And they just kind of talk like this.
Looking away.
It's the kind of thing where it's like you can tell Ms. Lockflint takes it somewhat seriously, but also it's still humorous in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, she reaches behind her skirt. I'm gonna roll hammer space for this just because
Hell yeah.
funny. Okay, yeah. And she immediately pulls out a pair of pistols that she just starts spinning on her fingers. But yep, I was the former sheriff of this here town, and after my son took over the position, I decided to stick around and, run the bank for a bit and serve as an extra layer of protection, as it were.
I see that. It's, well, okay. B.R.O does not know how to, broach the subject of what they want to do now with, Mrs. Lockflint because, uh-oh.
Hello, you've met the dangerous one.
Cool. Perrin pulls out the notebook for the third time, and offers it up to Miss Tahgit to peruse.
She flicks one of her fingers up so that one of the guns flies up, and then she catches it on the other finger that she's spinning a gun on. So now she's just spinning both pistols on one finger, and then she uses the free hand to take the notebook just to look it over.
B.R.O absolutely looks ready to dive out of the way of a stray bullet, just in case.
Loccan just leans over. It's like, don't worry, these blanks.
Oh, that still hurts to get shot with.
The monkey's right next to it. It's fine.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
As she's reading through it, Loccan's going to be like, okay, so let's just get a quick rundown. We got this guy, picked up this guy, causing some chaos in a town ways away, looking for a family, but his methods of doing so are a bit chaotic, so we figured bringing it to a smaller location would be a bit nicer, and,
Yeah,
she's just kind of flipping through the book, not quite looking the happiest for the most part, but you can't tell if that's just intensely reading or potential disapproval. It's hard to say yet. In fact, roll insight.
Yeah, I was gonna say B.R.O's rolling insight, because he don't trust like that. Oh my god, B.R.O. The dice are bullying me.
Pensive. That's,
I think it...
set plus 6 or plus 7? Fuck.
Nope, that's... Please type the way I want you to.
Barrow.
Oh my god, Chaz! B.R.O knows exactly what's going on.
I can say that. I can say that on the fucking recording. I didn't want to interrupt, so I typed it in chat as my roll. Like, it's a bit fun to have a character whose mods aren't high, not gonna lie, because it means I get to go full who give a shit. And then I rolled a nat 20.
Yep.
And then I found sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Well.
So, B.R.O and Perrin both see that, she's squinting, she's kind of looking it over, but at the same time, she's raising an eyebrow curiously, and that curiosity is one of a slightly chaotic nature. And it's like,
Meanwhile, I'm gonna say B.R.O is taking all of this exactly the wrong way, and might have taken one quick step back. Just to be behind the rest of the group a little bit, just in case.
Yep. And eventually, Miss Lockflint hands back the notebook to Perrin, gives a nod, and it's like, well, now I'm just excited.
What?
Like I said, it's been boring in this town. We gotta have some excitement. And I say a giant robot attack is a perfect source of excitement.
Perrin shrugs like, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. B.R.O has the look of now suddenly things make sense. Like, he gets it from you. He doesn't say that. This is all internal. But, like, just the look on his face is, I see. This is where he gets it.
Now that I've met both of your parents, you suddenly make much more sense.
Exactly. You make equally much more and less sense.
So, So, Locken's pretty happy that she's taken this surprisingly well, especially for being a former sheriff. I mean, we've said before that the sheriffs don't exactly have the same level of lawmen as police do, so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a case where this convincing is going to be a problem. It's not going to be a problem. This is all good. This is already approved.
Which, thank God. So
Yeah.
that Barrow, like, cautiously then kind of is gonna pipe up with, okay, so, I guess in that case, what do we need to do to, the deputy mentioned we needed to get the mayor on board. What do we need to do that?
Well, that could be tricky. I know the mayor's a bit, full of himself, but, I think the best way to do it would be to convince the mayor that it's in his benefit. Because, like I said, he's a bit full of himself. Everybody in town knows it. And Locken's just kind of rubbing the back of his gun head like, yeah. Both mixture of, okay, yeah, our group already has authority problems, and the mayor is a bit of an egotist. This isn't gonna go well.
Cool.
Or at least in Locken's head, it's not gonna go well.
Perrin thinks things over for a moment and then signs a quick materialistic benefit or ego stroking.
Yes.
Cool.
Cool. Alright, Barrow's thinking really hard about that one. Just, Okay.
Another quick sign. I can make him a statue of himself.
Oh, God.
I mean, on the one hand, that would probably work. On the other hand, this town's a bit tacky enough as it is, don't you think?
I never said it would escape the destruction. I just said I'd make one.
Barrow is laughing at that.
Just, puts her fist up to her mouth and just holds back a massive guffaw. Just her cheeks puff out like, oh.
Oh no, Barrow is full on laughing like, oh, that's perfect. I love it.
Okay, yeah, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with the mayor. Yep, his office is just over to the next building down the road. And looking out the window to the building that she's pointing at, oh gosh, you didn't notice it from when you entered, but most of the other buildings, basic wood plank structure, not really all too focused on the aesthetics, more practicality. This one, you can see many etched curves and swoops and such in the wood as it, tries to look as fancy as possible.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Locken's just kind of like, all right, let's at least get this out of the way. And, he waves to his ma and he starts leading the group out. And on the way out, Miss Laughlin's just like, and remember, if you try some shit, I was going to rhyme there and I didn't think of the through. Damn it. But also,
If he calls his shit, blow him to bits.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good
You
one.
got it.
If you cause some shit, I'll blow you to bits. And
Barrow kind of gives her a look of like,
she winks.
He just is like, I don't like that, but okay.
There is ostensibly a non-committal chirr from the platypus, but Barrow would know that it translates to, you can try.
He does kind of snort a little at that, like quietly at that one.
So next up is the mayor's office, town hall.
Office. So yeah, and much like Rada mentioned, this thing is ostentatious as hell as it can get in a town, where it's, all wood and it's trying its hardest to be fancy. Uh, it's, you get the impression there would be gold in this thing if color, were around at all.
Well, that, and if, the bank wasn't holding it all.
That too, yes. You are correct. And as you step in, for town hall, it's kind of big. But you step in, and the first thing you are greeted to is a big, like a big wooden desk. And behind that desk is another rubber hose tune who is sitting there. She looks I wouldn't say bored, but she is very busy filing her nails. And she is not paying attention to your group as you walk in. And in front of her it just says secretary.
Loccan just kind of mentally sighs to himself and then dings a little bell in front. Ding!
Ding ding. And she keeps filing her nails, and just says, "The mayor is not accepting appointments today."
I mean, I'm the sheriff. I gotta have some leeway, right? It's me, Lock and Tahgit. You know me.
And that gets her to pause. And her eyes open, and she just goes, "Lock and Tahgit? Well, I'll be. You finally decided to come back into town. The mayor thought that you would up and left."
Is he the one who started that rumor?
She just says, "Can't be a rumor now if it's true."
Well, I came back.
She frowns like, that you did. Do you have an appointment to see the mayor today?"
Loccan just kind of deadpans because it's like,
no, he doesn't, obviously.
No, he doesn't. Okay, what if I said it was an urgent appointment? Like something that needed to be discussed today. Do you think he'd have a time slot in for today at some point, like within the very near future? Like now?
And you see her, she puts a finger to her chin, and then she spins in her little swivel chair to a book that she starts flipping through. Everybody can roll me perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll perception as well.
Oh, Barrow, hey, finally.
Perrin is short, and his rolls reflect this.
Oh, no. Oh, Perrin.
Bro is the only one who's noticed the most.
Actually, Barrow also notices. Let me just.
Bro is still being held as far as I know, which makes
Yes.
sense. So it makes sense how he can see it.
Yeah.
So Bro and Barrow both see this book she's flipping through is very clearly a calendar. There is not a goddamn thing written in this calendar. It is blank.
I do want to ask, can I have Bro just make a persuasion roll just by attempting to I don't want to say puppy dog eyes because he can't really do that, but you get the vibe from the stare.
God, please.
Okay. I just want to attempt it.
So good.
So I can type this correctly.
Holy shit!
He has 2 good stat rolls. This is one of them.
Holy shit! So I know you said puppy dog eyes, but I want to, I'm gonna say that, Barrow kind of gets, an inkling of, Bro wants to do something, so he sets Bro on the desk. What does
He doesn't, the effects don't happen that you, normally see from, a puppy dog eyes thing in a cartoon. None of the effects happen. But he still looks up, and the camera keeps going back and forth between him and the secretary, and there's that slow zoom. It's framed exactly like it, but none of the extra effects are happening.
And the
Except
secretary.
maybe like when it zooms in like really far, you start to get like the sparkles on the edge of the screen.
All right.
That was a 26.
That was a 26. And yeah, okay. Yeah, no, okay. So the secretary had turned around and she basically had started to go, "I'm sorry." And then she like pauses and looks at Bro. And the camera does the pan and back, forth, back, forth. And her eyes are the ones that are getting like starry and rounded. And eventually she just says, "I think I can pencil you in."
Loccan just sighs in relief.
Bro raises his arms in victory.
Oh, thank God. Barrow is just.
Thank you so much.
Beep.
All
Bar-
right.
She picks up an old style like rotary phone, dials. There is a brief pause, and she says, "Oh, excuse me, burp." She goes, "Mail Lopine, Loccan and Tahgit is here to see you. He says it's urgent." And there's a pause.
And then there's just a. Oh boy! All right, bring him up.
Very good. All right. And she she clicks the phone back down, turns to the group and just says, "The mayor will see you. Please head upstairs."
Yep. And Loccan just turns to the group and nods and leads them to the stairs, which notably are carpeted.
Oh God, he's that kind of ostentatious. Ugh.
That carpet is filled with sand.
Of course it is.
Probably is.
They don't have vacuums.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Their carpet is grody and filled with sand.
Every other step, Perrin pauses to shake his feet out. It's grody, dude.
And at the top, you get to see the mayor.
God, there is no door. It's just open into his office. Like,
Yep. Well,
Oh,
Loccan Tahgit. Oh, it's a pleasure to see you again. Hey, Jack. You brought guests, shouldn't you? Didn't introduce me with my full title. All right. Everyone, meet the mayor of New Scribwick, Mayor Jack Lopine II, the great-grandson of the first Jack Lopine, who founded the town. Yes, he's only the second.
Barrow
Yep.
is just. This is quite the figure here.
Yes, especially with, the sash saying mayor, the desk name tag plate saying mayor, and the picture in the back wall of just him standing on a rock with the title me.
I am gonna roll a deception for Barrow to maintain composure. Barrow does not maintain his
Perrin is help
composure.
actioning, roll at advantage.
Oh, thank God.
There is a very quiet, growled out, play nice.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for the help action. Because, oh lordy, yeah. His first roll, because the dice are bullying me, and then his second roll, there you go.
He needed that help action bad. Oh,
So,
God.
Barrow sees this man, has immediate hate in his gut, is about to do something when Perrin growls out the warning, which... okay. And he steels himself and keeps his mouth shut.
There's Perrin's deception check, by the way.
Holy shit, nat 20.
He is used to being the good, quiet little soldier in front of authority.
Oh, At least B.R.O doesn't need to roll deception. B.R.O is B.R.O. There is nothing that can change this.
He's fine.
Bro is
He's
so
fine.
genuine. God.
So he's just kind of sitting at his desk. His buck teeth shined with some shiny metal. It's hard to tell in the grayscale.
God.
It could be silver, it could be gold, it could be aluminum. Who knows?
Who knows?
So, who are your, entourage that you brought in town, buddy? Well, this is the party of people that I wanted to bring you in to discuss a certain event we were considering. Event? Don't have many of those in New Scribwick.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
It's something that we think might be a little he thinks the best way to describe it, attention grabbing.
Attention grabbing. Attention grabbing. Jag just kind of chuckles for a little bit. You think anything's gonna attract attention around here? Silly. But yeah. So what exactly was the kind of event you were thinking of hosting here? A festival, a party, a robot attack? A robot what now?
A robot attack.
Jack just kind of blinks for a second in disbelief. It's hard to tell if he's confused, concerned, or appalled. Loccan, I'm gonna need to talk to you for a moment. Just, over in the corner. And he, gives the rest of the group a nod while pulling Loccan over. It's like, listen, I don't know what the heck has gotten into you, you gunhead, but I think you might have snuffed too much gunpowder, because I don't think we need a robot attacking our lovely little town here. It's gonna break the peace. Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because, it's not exactly all that you're hearing. It's not that we're attacking the town, it's that we're, quote, unquote, attacking the town.
Barrow has rolled perception.
What exactly were you rolling perception to hear?
To hear
Just the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear everything. Obviously the lack of cover makes it a bit easier to eavesdrop, but also you get the feeling that this is not just normal whispering, but comedically loud whispering.
Oh, it's stage whispering. Okay. Mm-hmm. Barrow doesn't know about that. He's just getting offended. On Loccan's behalf.
If you are you trying to what kind of attention are you even trying to attract? Are you trying to attract police? We've got you to keep us safe, and you'd be stopping the attacks, not causing them. Loccan just kind of rubs his the tip of his barrel for a moment, like he's rubbing his forehead, and he kind of just glances at the party like.
Barrow's gonna actually pipe up, and he just says, "We're trying to find my sister."
Your sister? What's a gosh darn robot attack gonna do to summon your family? It's a calamitous event that's gonna summon the police or some wandering band of heroes that's gonna come and try to stop these robots. That's not gonna summon your sister. Loccan just kind of pulls at his collar a little bit at the wandering band of heroes comment.
Barrow clenches his hands into fists. The kind of robots we're building are only the kind that she would do. She'll come. If you send out a news report about it with specific wording used, she'll definitely come.
Perrin snaps his fingers and then signs, "Don't worry about police or wandering bands of heroes, that's why I'm here."
Jack Lopine blinks for a moment. grabs a book off the shelf, which is labeled Translation for Toon Sign Language, flips through for a moment, then puts it back on the shelf. And it's just kind of like, and you are...
Perfect. Okay, cool. Pulls out his badge, signs with one hand. Agent P, I lie.
Like, Jack Lopine steps forward, and because Perrin is so short, he just angles at the midsection, just tilts down to, like, look at the badge. You can almost hear the creaking noise, just like... And he's just kind of reading it over with excessive scrutiny.
Barrow is about to be offended for Perrin, too. Like...
So you already got the bigwigs in on this. I mean, it's not all the bigwigs, it's just the one. I get you're trying to attack attention, but again, robots to summon this person's sister who apparently is trademarked or whatever these robots, and you've already got a secret agent on it, and these guys are real kind. I don't even know what kind of damage real kind could do in this scenario. Loccan just... Hang on, I need to roll something
boy. Yeah.
for Loccan. I'll just make it a whiz save.
Oh, dear.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's enough for Loccan to restrain himself while still being a bit extra irritated in this case, like reaching over to grab Mayor Lopine's shoulders for a moment. It's like, calm down. I'm not going to cause any damage to the town. We've already established that this is not going to do any damage. And what is this for? This is to reunite a family. A family that has been split apart across the ocean. How many miles? I don't even know.
Barrow's gonna pipe up quietly, just, Verona is literally halfway on the other side of the planet.
Jack Lopine's kind of still, pretentiously squinting at the whole concept. But he's kind of like, he stands up straight, taps his fingers together, trying to think of what he wants to say next. Because obviously, Loccan is taking this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
B.R.O seems to be... Actually, I'm going to roll a quick insight from the mayor on B.R.O. He doesn't have an actual sheet, so it'll just be non-modifier.
Yeah. We'll just kind of gauge based on...
Yeah, okay. He's trying to figure out... He's trying to get a read on how B.R.O... like, the things B.R.O has said. Like, how honest they are.
So, B.R.O... He gets with that. He gets that B.R.O is fully convinced that, this will do exactly as he said it will. That his sister will, if, like, you send out a news report that has certain things mentioned, he is wholly convinced that this will, in fact, bring her in. And that is what he, like, that's his goal. Like, he's determined to do this. That's that's the best that I can give. Like, he's fully convinced this is gonna work, and he's like, everything everyone else has said he has kind of like been nodding with, like agreeing to, so like it isn't just a I'm reluctantly I'm reluctantly behaving. It's they're helping me, so I'm accepting their help, and this is what they think is gonna work. So, yeah.
Jack Lopine kind of looks over the party for a moment, and then he turns to B.R.O. And what's your deal?
He just beeps.
I see.
He can't speak common.
No.
Perrin does like glance at the rest of the party, walks over to the mayor, gestures for him to lean down, and then angling himself so that the others can't see, unless they would like look over him. He does sign a quick, with all the materials they'll be bringing here, I could get you a couple things if you wanted. Maybe a little statue of yourself, something like that.
An eyebrow raises.
We'll make
He
it worth
doesn't
your while,
seem
sir.
convinced yet, but he is kind of like, he gives a small nod. It's like, I see. We're at the part of the negotiations when I hear what's in it for me. I see. And so he stands back up and walks back to the desk, to kind of sit down.
Oh,
All right. So, let's see what we can do here. He shuffles through some papers. They just seem to be doodles, honestly.
of course they are.
He shoves them in a desk, in a desk drawer, and pulls out what seems to be a map of the town, but also the surrounding desert.
Ooh. Barrow does in fact peek over that, because ooh.
Listen, you get this stuff when you're the mayor. So, you really think this is going to work, and you're absolutely certain that it isn't going to cause any damage. If it causes any damage, we will repair it. Jack kind of okay, and you said there's a statue in it for me. Okay.
Barrow is trying so hard to not pull a face, but he just says, if we can check out the mine, I'm sure we can see about finding any more of that, Brightelium stuff. Maybe.
One of Jack Lopine's ears flops upwards upon hearing 1, mines, and 2, Brightelium.
Mm-hmm.
He turns to Barrow,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, you ain't gonna find any more Brightelium in those caves. I can guarantee you that. Trust me, we've had people go in to try and look for more. It's out. But the mines would be pretty good for getting resources if you needed them.
That also works. We can...
And to be fair, we have been getting low on our more, metal-heavy resources. So here's what I think you can do for me. 1, statue, obviously, but 2, I think when you guys go into the mine, he points at a spot on the map with a giant red X labeled over it as if to say, do not go here.
Mm-hmm.
You go in the mine, get the resources both for your robot thing and to help supply the town with a little bit more to, keep it steady. Then I think we have a deal. Is that really it? Jack kind of rubs his head a little bit. I mean, obviously the statue's great, but this town is everything to me. And I ain't gonna let some random robots or villains or whatever the heck is going on here ruin anything. So if I'm gonna make this work for this town, I'm gonna make it work for the better. Alright? And Loccan's just kind of like, alright.
Barrow
He backs off for a
that.
moment.
Yeah, Barrow kind of can't argue that. And he kind of... His arms are crossed, but he just kind of nods, like... I'm the one making these things. They aren't gonna... I can make them literally just all... I can make it all lasers and noise without actually, doing any damage, so...
Roll a persuasion.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. Barrow, my darling.
Should I roll to go with Barrow?
Huh?
No, you don't.
I think Bro is trying to offer help.
Well, I was just saying, because, you saw the earlier mod. Of the two of us, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bro, please help. This poor half elf is
I don't know if it'll work again, but we will try.
yeah. Cause this
I mean, at the very least, you probably can't do worse.
bar yeah. Hey.
Uh, Jack kind of looks over Barrow for a moment, just kind of looking him up and down, and then his eyes stop on the downward turn as he spots Bro again. And it's just kind of like, ah, yes, little robot is being adorable.
He looks at me.
And then Jack makes the realization, they've already got a robot in the party. If they need to do robot negotiations, they have someone who can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's obviously not the actual logic that's being used in this scenario, but that's the logic that's running through Jack's head right now.
Yup.
Whatever works.
Yep, whatever works. So he gives a nod, and he's like, all right, yeah. I think we can make this work. Just make sure you stick to, everything you've told me. Anyway, I guess, you guys need a spot to stay for however long you're gonna be sticking around town, bumming around town, huh? Loccan was just kind of rubs his head like, I mean, I was gonna offer my place, but, oh, well, that makes my job easy.
Barrow scowls like, of course.
Don't pay him any mind. Loccan's just kind of shaking his head as Jack just kind of puts away the map and proceeds to take out. Well, here, you know what? I'm gonna roll another hammer space because he's taking this out of his back pocket. Okay, yeah. He pulls out a set of. They're not professionally made. They are flyers, but they are hastily drawn prototype flyers, some of which say come visit New Scribwick, and some are like take in the sights. He's trying to make tourism posters for this dank, just teensy, junky little town.
Oh, honey.
Just take in the scenic view. It's nothing but sand.
Look at the scenic sand.
Gaze at the sunset while trying to avoid burning your eyes out.
Don't gaze at the suns. I mean, you can, but
Anyway, I think for now that should be all you need to do. And it's at least good to see you back in town. Finally, we can have someone decent on the protection. And then I'm gonna roll really quick. Yeah, let's just do that. Strength is, yeah. Okay, yeah. Loccan just kind of gives Jack Lopine a smack upside the head. Like, don't insult my deputy like that. He's doing a good job as it is. Okay, jeez.
Barrow actually, like, his eyebrows shoot up, like, you just hit the mayor.
Yeah, I am. Jack thankfully doesn't seem to be too, like, roughed about it. Although at the same time, he did just get smacked upside the head, so he's obviously irritated. But it doesn't seem to affect the party's chances, for now.
Yeah. Barrow just kind of has that wide-eyed, like, he just hit the mayor and nothing bad came of it, reaction. But
I guess that goes to show just how much authority Loccan has in this town. Like, when you really think about it.
He's kind of reevaluating a few things about Loccan.
Anyway, I think we're good here, so if you don't mind, let's head back to our rooms.
Yeah, alright.
And Loccan gives a brief wave to the mayor as he starts heading downstairs. Jack Lopine, who's still rubbing the back of his head, just kind of rolls his eyes a bit and is like, Yeah, just don't get any sand between your toes or whatever. You city slickers.
Barrow takes offense to that.
Perrin
To
just
be
quietly
fair,
gestures at his webbed feet.
Ah!
Jackalope doesn't have a comeback for that.
Don't get any sand between your webs.
I like to imagine just Jack's only response at this point is just sticking his tongue out.
Incredible.
Resorting to the most childish of results. Just,
Incredible. Jazz, you have to say that.
Imagine having feet.
Imagine having to walk. This post brought to you by Barrow is carrying bro.
But yeah. Y'all managed to make it out of the mayor's office successfully, amazingly.
And I'm utterly shocked. Barrow, like, the minute that y'all step, like, back onto the streets, Barrow just kind of has that went way better than it had any right to.
I'll admit, yeah. Loccan's also kind of considering to himself, because I've talked with that guy so many times. I just numb to that at this point, but he latched onto that plan pretty quick.
Perrin waits until they're out of sight of the secretary and the mayor, and then does a full body shudder. And then goes, there's probably something in the mine that's going to try and kill us.
I've never really been in the mine, so I certainly wouldn't know.
Barrow kind of looks at Perrin. How sure are you of that?
There's like a kind of hand gesture. 70%?
I don't like those odds. Of course.
I mean, they probably had to board the place up for a reason, right? I mean,
I don't know.
I'm sure we can handle it. I'm sure it's fine. You know.
I don't know.
We took down the previous robots. What harm can a bunch of little cave critters do to us?
We took down the previous robots with high explosives. I'm not using high explosives in a cave.
Yeah, no, don't do that. That's how you become trapped in the cave.
You know, fair enough point. I'm too used to out in the open combat.
Yeah. Barrow's thinking, because if cave is problem, how deal with cave? But they can discuss that when they get situated in a room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like as they're thinking, Loccan's kind of just taking his cowboy hat and sweating, like swatting it around his head, kind of like as if to dry off sweat, even though he isn't sweating.
What are
If
you doing?
we're cutting away to the room,
Yeah.
I suggest break.
Yeah, because it's been 2
Yeah.
hours.
2
So
hours.
we'll take a
let's
quick
take
break.
a break.
Everyone hydrate.
I am hydrating.
Get your hydrate. Get your
I've
snack.
been hydrating the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, feels good.
Mm.
Thank God for bro. God.
Mm.
Turns out,
Faster gang.
God. Thank God.
I posted it in commentary. He has exactly 2 good skill rolls. Persuasion is 1. But if you look at his entire list, he's what 2 plus 8s, 2 plus 5s, plus 3, like 2 plus 1s, and after that there's
3 plus 1s.
3 plus ones.
I'm sorry, and everything else is a 0 or a -2.
I'm
Compare and contrast Perrin, whose minimum roll is a +2.
Yeah,
uh,
and his skills go burr.
which tracks for a secret agent.
Yeah, like it makes sense to the character.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I hope this is going well.
Yeah.
I mean, we've not killed anyone yet. We've not been thrown out of town either.
So we're doing pretty good.
I'll be right back.
Alright. We're doing so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
how
Barrow.
much more do you?
Oh, go ahead.
You can. Just gonna ask, how much more do you guys have planned for this session? By the way, because I have a hard limit of 1 a.m.
1 a.m. and it's midnight now for you.
Yeah.
We can cut it in a pretty short amount of time. I figured the mines would be like the next the next session basically.
Cool. Alright.
Yeah.
Basically it's gonna be figure out a plan, and then since you got the mayor on board, that kind of eliminated the side quest possibilities. So hey,
Yeah, I honestly don't know what came over him either. I'm probably gonna have to do a bit of character figuring out to figure out what the heck was going on through his head there.
yeah,
We might still be able to do some side questing, but
no,
we'll
it was
have to
just a
see.
matter of if our rolls were terrible. I had a little side quest that we could have done to endear us to the mayor. So,
Okay.
and so you guys have effectively avoided the side quest, which is
Nice.
good. You don't have to stop a minor bank robbery. But
Ooh.
or a band of cattle rustlers, I don't know yet. We would have figured that bit out, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I am not supposed to be this tired.
Jazz,
For real.
I pat you in. I haven't listened to many of the Lost Wages games, so I'm just kind of like, any similarities or completely unintentional.
The real reason Jazz was muted so often is to fucking avoid making Lost Wages jokes.
Mm.
If you did, that would bring my number of nickels representing times Little Joe has randomly appeared in a game completely unrelated to Little Joe up to 2.
Incredible.
I still remember
Okay,
that voice changer.
Listen, I figured out a way to where even if my hotkeys are on, the voice changer stays off, so I just randomly go robot.
Hey.
Oh. All right, so are we ready to continue, or?
I think Jazz is getting a quick snack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still eating. I just got a thing of chips. It's fine. I'll just.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
We're out of fucking peanut butter and cheese crackers, and I'm sad.
Oh, Bensiv.
Sad.
Alright. So, we will pan back down in whatever room Loccan has secured for the group, which I assume is in the saloon.
Yeah, like there's a bedroom inside the saloon where, like, on the upper floor,
Okay.
where it's essentially like there's a bed with what seems like some memorabilia and photos if you want to do like a perception check in here. But Loccan kind of just introduced it as his room.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Definitely not snooping, he says, rolling a 22 perception.
Oh my god. Barrow did not roll terribly, but also the dice are determined to not let this boy have good rolls today.
Expensive.
It's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Should we let Bro roll or?
I was gonna say if roll.
I'm rolling. I missed it.
If roll.
Yeah. Roll a perception to have a look around the room.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, at a cursory glance, and this is also the extent of what Barrow's getting, it's, it's a pretty well set up room. It's got a bed, it's got a desk set up, it's got a nightstand, it's got the usual necessities for a room. There's a lot of sketchbooks piled up in one of the corners. There's some leatherworking objects in the back that are unfinished. The bed sheets are well made, obvious, probably because Loccan hasn't slept in the bed for who knows how long he's been adventuring for.
Yeah.
And overall, it's just kind of a nice room. And Perrin and B.R.O, actually B.R.O specifically, since you're, being carried, you get a better view of like what's on the sketchbooks, and it's just kind of like a lot of fun, like little doodles of what seem to be characters. Maybe not tunes or tunes anybody's seen before, but just kind of tunes in general. And Perrin, with a 22, I'd say you rolled high enough to notice there's like a little corner of a page poking out from one of the drawers that seems arbitrarily interesting. Loccan, in the meantime, isn't really like looking at anything because he knows this room inside out. He's just flopping down on the bed and just kind of he's relaxing so much that his face just sinks into the pillow.
What's Loccan's passive perception?
His passive is 12. Okay. I think you're gonna get past him.
Yeah, he does not notice Perrin filching a piece of paper to take a look at it.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. And you realize that it's an old photograph. You can tell it's an old photograph because even though the town is in black and white and the desert around them is yellow, the photo is in sepia. So, none of the colors are right.
Yep.
God.
And, trying to just looking at the image, you see this. You see the two members of Loccan's family that you've just recently met, and there's a third figure in the middle. He seems to be, enjoying himself.
It's Loccan's human soda.
Oh my god, how dare you.
Oh.
Look at the boy.
Look at the boy. It took me so long to design this.
I love that boy.
But yeah.
For everybody listening,
seems to be...
it is a photo of a human I should say a half-elf Loccan, who's got a little mop of hair and a little cowboy hat.
And he's hanging out with his ma and pa.
Yeah.
Who, don't actually look all that different from how you met them.
Which tracks because tunes.
Well, one, tunes, but also, like, even if the photo itself seems like a bit shaky and like there's tears at the edges. At the same time, it's hard to tell if that's actual age or it's just the extra wear and tear from being in a desert climate.
That's fair.
Perrin will quietly return this to the place where he'd taken it from.
Mm-hmm. And Loccan just kind of rolls over on the bed, face up, and gives out a big sigh. Oh, okay. So, still gotta look through that cave. I think most of the town's probably gonna get the idea between telling Dad and Trot or Jack, all that stuff. I guess here's another quick question. If we're going into the mines to get resources for your robots, do you know how much we need?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Barrow's gonna dig into his little bag of holding, and he pulls out a couple of blueprints, and he would set them on the desk, but it's against the wall. But he pulls out a couple of blueprints, and kind of like shakes them in the air, like, "I got these. Don't worry. They give exactly what we need."
We'll need a little bit more as well for the statue.
I can't believe you promised him a statue.
And the community resources. Loccan kind of rubs his head again. It's like, thanks for not, at the very least, thanks for not blowing your gaskets around him. That helped.
Barrow just kind of like works his jaw, just like, yeah.
No, Loccan definitely nods in understanding. Like he's a rough guy to talk to, and not in like the rough and tough way. I mean, in the rough for your sanity kind.
Yeah.
But in all the time I've been working for this town and under him, he's been selfish, yes, but I'd say the town's still standing, arguably because of him trying to put the effort into, make sure everything's protected. But, he could deal with an attitude adjustment at least. I'm just rambling at this point.
So what I'm hearing is
no.
Really?
We have a job to do. Let's do it and get out of here.
Barrow frowns at that.
To be fair, I don't know what she's going to get up to once you find your sister again, so I suppose we'll cross that bridge when we get to that one. Loccan's kind of...
Roll me insight there.
I was going to say roll insight on Loccan, but you know what? Fine, we'll just insight battle.
Rolling insight the both of you.
Yeah.
Fucking 26.
Jesus Christ. Yep, Barrow can't do anything. Yep. Barrow fails everything. Yeah,
goddamn
fuck.
secrets, assholes.
Cringe fail teenager.
Loccan sees nothing on Barrow's face.
Yeah, so Perrin definitely, Perrin definitely gets that, Loccan says he has no idea what, Barrow's gonna do once they find a sister. Barrow equally has the same kind of, Barrow seems to not know either. And he's trying very hard to play that off as, you don't know. That's my secret to keep. But no, it's also, I don't know either.
So are we rolling separate rolls for insight on Loccan?
Yeah, and Barrow failed his. I can tell you right now.
I'm gonna let the fucking 26 be for everyone.
Alright, yeah. Barrow doesn't realize it, but Perrin, you notice that Loccan is thinking, and you can probably assume that he's thinking about a deal that he made with a certain deity with a pinky promise that he might have regrets about.
That's finally sinking in, I see.
Yeah. Sometimes you make dumb promises. And there seems to be a lot of dumb promises with this group.
Listen, Sometimes you make hasty decisions, and you have to
So
live
far-
with that.
So far, the only decisions we've made have been hasty.
Exactly. Exactly. But Barrow stows the blueprints he's got away and just kind of sinks into the chair.
Gosh, Loccan and Barrow having no idea what the ether is going through it, and Perrin just sitting here reading the room like a book.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Perrin.
Aaron.
But he sinks in the chair and he sets Bro down to actually be able to roll around the room and explore. Perrin is over here just like, I guess I'm gonna be the sense of reason and the adult now. So
To be fair, Loccan's in his own room. He can feel like a kid in here.
you know what? That's fair. That is absolutely fair. But Barrow just kind of, okay, so we're gonna check out the mine. Something's probably going to attack us.
I figure, with these kinds of things, it's always like the deeper in the mine you go, the more dangerous it is, right? So I think the easiest way to think about it would be go as far as we think we need to go, and then once we think we have enough, get out.
I defer to you on this one. I don't know this trope. And he kind of says trope with an air of quotation marks.
It's not my usual genre, but that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Loccan just kind of like nods at that, like, okay, yeah, this is why I'm here. This is my town. I gotta take responsibility for everything I've done up to this point.
The weight of the consequences of your actions are coming up, catch up with you.
Ancient sins.
Barrow just kind of nods and says, how far out of town is this mine?
It's at least half a mile, I'd say. Far enough away that if there's anything going on in the mine, it's not going to affect anything in town. So, like, if, say, if there was, like, monsters in the mine, like in the entrance of the mine, they're not going to get anywhere near town.
Alright, that's good to know at least. Actually, that's another good question. I probably should have asked the mayor. Is there a way for you guys to send a message out to other, like a call for help?
Loccan thinks for a second. The town's pretty isolated, but I think shucks. Give me a second.
Yeah, you good.
My brain is trying to process a thing.
You good.
Bro beeps. You don't know what it means, but he definitely responded to that question.
What's up? And Barrow kind of glances down like, what's up?
It's just the one beep.
Just the one beep?
Yep.
Beep.
Beep.
Loccan glances down at Bro, just kind of like, I don't know, he's a robot. Maybe. No. Wait. Maybe if we send like a telegraph or something.
That would work. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's thinking about it. It's like there's probably an old telegraph station somewhere that we ain't used in a while. And I got a BRB really quick.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It happens.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. It's stuck back in a closet, though. Beep, 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 beep.
All right, sorry about that. I was being alerted about dinner.
You good.
No worries.
There's probably like an old telegraph stowed away in a closet somewhere.
Yeah. And even if there's not like any visible wires, they can probably set some up with tune logic somehow.
It's tune logic. If they need to call for help, they can call for help.
Yeah. So Lawkins just kind of shrugs and be like, I'll figure something out. I've probably got some stuff in the closet.
The look on Barrow's face says he very much wants to ask questions about that because what?
I mean, if you've got questions, Lockin just walks up to the closet, like a closet that's just on the side, and he opens the door and outpours what can only be described as junk. I've been needing to clean this out anyway, so this is just extra motivation to do so.
Perrin will start picking it over for parts.
Incredible.
Listen, he has a communicator, but we're gonna want something a little bit more like a radio signal than what he's got going on. So
Lockin is not technically knowledgeable enough to do a radio signal, so it's just a case of
Barrow is.
So, it's just a case of, you know, if you guys have an idea, then I'm gonna let you tinker with it. I don't really use much of this stuff anymore, so take your pickings.
You know what? I think I can make something out of this, and he is going to dive into this not literally, but he's going to dive into this pile of junk.
Yeah, Perrin's digging out parts to make a functional radio satellite dish to stick on a tower somewhere. Get a relatively decent
int. Hey, that's not great, but hey, I'll take it. It could be worse. It could be.
Roll a Tinker's check for this.
Let me double check my I would say Tinkers.
Cool. Using intelligence as the skill modifier then, or is the ability modifier then. Okay, what is this? Covers.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Intelligence modifier. 15.
Nice. So
to pick up parts to make a radio satellite dish.
Yeah, look, and Barrow's gonna equally do the same.
Nice.
Lockin is just kind of watching these two go feral while he just reaches down to pick up B.R.O. just for a moment, just to hold.
Yeah.
Gently hold.
Gently hold robot like hamburger.
Is help.
Listen, Lockin doesn't know what's going on here at this point.
Barrow has his fucking cat ear headphones on and is just chattering at Perrin as he, like, pulls parts out.
Yeah.
Like, and if you try to understand any of it, it's literally just like, oh, this can be this part. Oh, I can strip this. I can strip bits of this from this, and I can do, like, it's literally just a bunch of technical mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in his element. He knows this.
Lockin's gonna roll an insight on B.R.O. really quick.
Hey, all right. What's he trying to deduce?
He's just trying to get a sense of, like, B.R.O.'s current level, like, attitude. Like, is this, like, serious?
Okay. I'm gonna say initial. Oh, go ahead.
Like, is B.R.O. quote unquote having fun?
Okay.
Right now?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say initially it was like a, how is any of this gonna be useful? Kind of like picking at it, and just sort of reluctantly picking, and then Perrin starts to find some things, and Barrow starts to perk up a little, like, oh, these are some things we can actually use, and he starts to, like, get more invested in it, and, like, yeah, this is his zone. He knows this, and he's building something, which that's what he does. So yes, it goes from, well, I guess I can try to figure something out, to, oh, I actually am figuring something out. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, and this is my element, and this is actually, like, I'm actually having fun now.
Lockin's just kind of, like, he does a small, his lips kind of perk up a little bit, just kind of watching this, like, yeah, okay, I think we'll be good. I think this will go well enough. Because he was having hesitations over, between the discussion with the mayor and, like, actually getting here. Is just a case of he wasn't sure how well everything was going to work out, but seeing Barrow's enthusiasm helped remind him of, it's the whole point of getting him to act villainously in a toonish style way is always more about the fun of it than the actual damage of it. So seeing Barrow getting into it in an enjoyable sense is like, yeah, okay, this can work out. This can work.
Yeah. And part of it is helped by Perrin. He can actually, like, he can info dump and somebody understands him.
Yeah.
That always does help.
Yeah. So he's, like, explaining, and Perrin is, they're rubber ducking off of each other, and he is, like, he's responding to that in the same kind of way of, oh my gosh, someone understands. Which you probably realized he didn't have a lot growing up. With that 16 insight, I'm gonna say you don't really get a lot, but like he's excited to be able to build things, but a lot of the fun and excitement is coming from oh, bro.
Bro.
Keep talking. It's fine.
But a lot of the like excitement and fun is coming from he's explaining a lot of this or he's working his mental thoughts through, and he's having someone who can actually respond and like hold the conversation with him, or at least is interested in listening to the conversation. And that's where a lot of the enjoyment is coming from, but he is like he's having fun still. It's just that's what started
Loccan's noticing it's like, yes, he's already learning the art of the monologue. That's what monologuing is. You are info dumping to your enemy.
Yeah. To be fair, Barrow literally is info dumping to his quote unquote enemy right now. So hey.
Yes, the prelude to the villainous monologue. It's working.
Rolled a 5 for that. Nothing bad happened. The point is, he has Mage Hand, so even though he's being held by Loccan, he's just like he's turning the pile into a slightly more organized, laid out thing, but he can't quite tell which parts are like actually parts of like either the same thing or similar types of parts. So he's just like spreading them out so B.R.O and Perrin can get to them easier. He's not able to like sort them into anything, but
bro, my beloved.
I'm gonna do something really quick for Loccan.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that'll be enough. Loccan kind of tilts his head and notices the corner of the sheet stuck out of the drawer, and he still manages to hold B.R.O in one arm, but he slips out the paper with photo with another arm, just kind of looking over it, just kind of sighing wistfully. If you want to do like a perception roll to see if any of you hear that.
Oh, honey, you're asking B.R.O to perceive.
I mean, Perrin probably doesn't even need to roll because Perrin probably already knows, but
yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Perrin is very much aware that, yes, he saw the photo.
Yep.
Too focused on part sorting.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
What did...
I'm getting it. Oh, fuck you, dice parser, or my keyboard. It's fine. Yeah, B.R.O doesn't see shit. He got a 4.
Yep.
B.R.O is a child info dumping. He's happy.
Loccan just kind of looks between the photo and B.R.O, and then the piece finally clicks together as to why B.R.O might have snapped at the bank.
Yeah.
That finally clicks for Loccan, and is like, huh. He just kind of slips it in his pocket. He's just kind of thinking. He doesn't say this out loud, but it's just like, huh. Didn't think that would be a resemblance. Loccan didn't make the connection that half-elf because he's had the gun head for a while. He knows he's a half-elf, but it's only half-elf aesthetically. He is still a toon, and he identifies as a toon.
Exactly.
But to a real kind who is genuinely half-elf, Loccan didn't realize, Oh.
This is a bit of
Like,
familiarity in a strange land. Of course he's going to latch onto it.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
earlier. This is something earlier, right? Barrow seeing a toon whose design mimics his own race. I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
He just kind of assumed, like, yeah, Loccan's got a gun head. He mentioned not having one at one point, but, like, whatever. And then, wait, no, what? This is a thing? Oh. Huh.
Yeah. No, Locken's just gonna slip that into his pocket for now. Maybe save it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Barrow voice. Wait, that's illegal.
Yeah, wait, that's illegal. Yeah.
But also consider, when is it ever gonna rain here?
You would be surprised. It starts raining in the
mean,
desert and everyone gets prepared because, oh no, we're about to get some heavy stuff happening. It's about to get
Oh,
emotional
God.
out here.
and you're raining robot parts soon.
Oh man, yeah, you right.
God.
You right.
But yeah,
I think oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure where to go from here.
No, I was gonna say, so Barrow and Perrin are building this little communicator, and Barrow is basically writing out like a script for whoever's gonna send the message to relay through this little communicator. And he's making a note to like specifically mention certain things. But yeah, that's does Perrin have any like little additions, or Bro have any little additions?
Perrin would probably point out that it should probably be Loccan who sends the message out, given that he's the sheriff, but
That's fair.
That's a good point.
That is fair.
Yeah. You know, it's probably going to be a real big threat if even the sheriff of the town is having trouble with it.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
And Barrow will nod at that, like, okay, once we get everything built, then I'll have you send it and give it about, I don't know, how long did it take us to get here, actually? Barrow's now having that thought of, like, how long did this take us?
Lockin just kind of, like, he doesn't sweat, actually, but you get, like, the sweat drop. He's like, I'm not sure. I feel like the Sid might be a bit quicker than we were.
That's...
It's plot convenience, so we feel faster.
If you say so.
The look Barrow gives Perrin is just, I don't know enough about this, but okay. And he actually does kind of ask then, okay, so if that's the case, we send the message, and how long would it be to wait for, like, a day or two?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay. So send the message, wait a day or two, and then we stage the attack, and hopefully all we draw is Sid, but I guess we'll be prepared. I guess we should be prepared for anyone else to show up, like...
Yeah, I mean, we showed up last time, so that was a bit of a wrench in your original plan. I imagine we should be prepared for a similar wrench in our plan.
I can pull some strings to keep certain people from noticing, but...
That would be really helpful. Barrow also does kind of give Perrin a bit of a look at that one, like, are you sure?
Roll insight.
Oh, God, you're making my boy do oh, shit, no, my dice! Oh, fuck! No, party foul! Let's try this again, come back. You're making my boy roll insight. He has a negative modifier, man. Oh, fuck! Hey! Holy shit, it happened! Nat 20!
Hey.
Holy shit!
Go.
Finally!
Perrin is not sure at all. Like, this is the kind of not sure where it's like, I can do it, but I don't know what it's gonna cost me.
Okay, cool. 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 Awesome. Love that. Love that for us. Love that for Barrow. He gives Perrin a very concerned look. But he just goes, okay, well, alright.
Loccan is thinking thoughtfully, and it's like, before we actually go on this, we should probably at least take a little like recon trip to where the mines are so we can get an idea of what we're in for.
Probably wise.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick trip out there while it's still light.
Barrow will nod at that. And I mean, it's only about half a mile away. It only takes you like 10 minutes to walk there tops. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad of a walk as it was to get to town to begin with.
yeah.
So you get to the mine. It's in the side of like a mountain, kind of. It's more like one of those like butte things. And there's, a cavern wall sort of thing. There is definitely wooden boards hammered over the entrance, though. And there are also signs with cartoony drawn skulls and keep outs. And there are some rail tracks poking out from the end, but otherwise it is,
Charming.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you get out here. He's gonna walk up to the entrance and try to like poke his gun head through one of the gaps in the boards to see if he can look inside. So I'm gonna roll perception.
For the bit, can Perrin just duck under the boards and step in?
Yes, I'm gonna still roll my perception. Oh, that's not bad.
Nice.
Hell yeah, we love to see it. Dirty 20.
Oh.
Can Bro just follow Perrin under the boards?
Yes. So inside the mines is it's right here at the entrance. It's pretty much what you would expect. The walls are stable but held up by, thick beams of wood. The rail continues down into the mines. You can see some sconces kind of in the walls to hold some like lanterns. But it quickly goes dark in there.
Bro is casting light.
The good news is Perrin picked up some fucking dark vision goggles from Barrow's base.
Stole some dark vision goggles.
Yeah, he did.
Barrow doesn't notice. He's too busy looking. It's fine. But he, so you guys look in, and you see very, very much your, very general, like, mining system, and it goes back a good... I have to bring up my other freaking document. Hang on a second here.
Listen, we're just here for the teaser. It's fine.
Yep. But I have notes here on it. That's why I have to bring it up. But basically it goes back about 50 to 60 feet. And then you see one of those kind of old sort of lift elevators, and it looks rough, but you can maybe assume it still works. And the floor around all of y'all in the area, it looks stable. So at the very least, worst case, you can see a manual crank on the elevator. So at the worst, you have to manually lower yourselves into the mine. But this general, the most trafficked area, at the very least, seems very sturdy. Seems very it seems it was built proper and maintained well while it was in use. And so while it has fallen into disrepair now, it's holding up pretty dang good so far.
I'm guessing this isn't the spot they... Oh, what'd you say?
I just went out of character. Fucking Dunwich borers.
Loccan's just kind of looking through the entrance. It's like, well, if they're telling us to keep out, they're certainly not telling us that the entrance is the dangerous part.
Which stands to reason it's deeper in where things are dangerous.
Well, that's a problem for tomorrow, us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Barrow just kind of nods and goes, all right, well, and he just kind of goes,
that's enough.
Yeah, well, that's enough of that. Let's go back.
That's enough of that. Who wants some fried varmint?
Barrow makes a face like,
Perrin shrugs like, yeah, okay, sure. Steps out from underneath the planks again.
Incredible.
Oh, I hold this party so soft.
Yeah.
Great, dude.
Oh my gosh. And I think there is where we are going to call it. And we'll pick up next session, heading into the mines.
Yep, the deep, dark, spooky mystery mines.
Yep.
We still have...
Insert relevant Minecraft parody song.
And so we're back in the mines.
Ugh.
There's like 7 I can pick off the top of my head.
Yep.
So pick one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Alright.
back in the mine.
Got a pickaxe swinging from side to side to side. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry.
Lightly tap you with newspaper. Back. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all head back. Y'all kind of hunker down with food. Whatever your thing of choice. Barrow does not relax. He does not sleep. But by golly, he does sit in that chair and just vibe for the night.
I like to think that, like, Loccan is probably sleeping the most comfortably you've ever seen him sleep.
Aww.
Because it's like, he's home, and even in a stressful situation, sleeping at home can be just the thing you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
After all this adventuring, one does get homesick, so this is
Mhm.
a nice reprieve from that.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about Perrin and Bro?
I don't think this room has electric outlets. So he's just in a corner.
Aww. I will say, if Bro needs a charge, Barrow absolutely can provide him one. He does have Shocking Grasp that he uses to charge things, so he could...
Yeah.
I mean, God. The first thought I had was Bro doesn't understand what's happening and just shocking grasps him back.
Oh, you're charging me? I shall charge you now.
Doesn't know what's happening.
That's not how it works.
You know what? Yeah, I should have expected that. It's fine.
Zap.
Zork. Okay. Yep. Cool.
Tilting his head. What was that?
Like, what was that? I'm trying to charge you, you fool.
Internet dial-up sound effect.
God.
Goodness.
Wait,
And just that's... What about Perrin? What's Perrin doing?
Well, he got a 70 on his nightmare die,
Oof.
which is just below the bad nightmares. So it's
Mhm.
just his standard nightmare fare. So he sleeps relatively. This is the kind of shit he's used to. So.
Okay, that's good.
Great.
That's good. I'm glad. Ah! But okay,
I want
cool.
hug the platypus.
Yes, I hold.
He's probably curled up on top of the wardrobe or something.
Yeah.
Fair.
There's no fridge to climb on top of in here.
No. No. It's fine. Everything's fine. Barrow's gonna just kind of sink into that chair and vibe. He's not sleeping, but he is resting. Which is a pretty good, like, yeah, okay.
About as good as we're gonna get.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
And I do
think on
believe
that
that's
note-
where. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Is up. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks
wow.
for tuning
Wow.
into the video or tuning into the live
Yeah.
playthrough.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Thank you for playing, like, to all our players, and
Yeah.
to Hex for letting me go on with this silly little idea.
Heck yeah, this is great.
Thanks to Hex for not strangling us by ruining the plot.
I would never. How dare you insinuate I would do that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think at this point we can all say goodbye.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.